Tonight, on the season premiere of #Actors Life Season 2, entertainment attorney Eldonie Masson gives basic legal advice in our new segment, Lawgisitcs. Actors Shabazz and Chantal Maurice join our Meeting of the Minds segment to discuss stereotypes. Then our LimeLight segment is back with the talented actress Angel Moore. This season on #Actors Life, we're introducing a new segment called Lawgisitcs with entertainment attorney Eldonie Masson. Eldonie Masson is a licensed attorney specializing in entertainment, business, fashion, and arbitration. Eldonie has practiced law over the past 10 years and is here to give basic legal information to set your career up for success. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a very special guest and very important guest. I have Eldonie Masson of Masson Firm LLC, right?
Yes.
And she is an entertainment attorney. Today we're going to get some clarity and we're going to get ironed out the importance of having legal representation, not just talent representation. So welcome, Eldonie.
Nice to be here.
First off, just give us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, I'll give you a little background about me. So, in a nutshell, went to law school in Miami. I was a litigator, left Miami, came back to New Jersey with the sole purpose of practicing entertainment law. Started my own practice about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I pretty much do everything in entertainment. It spreads the gamut, music, film, TV, off-Broadway, throw fashion in there because, of course, as an entertainer, you always got to look your best. And, from rights acquisition to being production attorney to ironing out music estates to representing talent and just entertainment companies to forming entertainment companies. Pretty much, I like to say if it shakes for an entertainment purpose, we could rep it.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen some of your clients make in terms of legally?
Okay, well, if you're my client, you're not making mistakes because I'm making sure that I'm covering your butt, so you're not gonna make mistakes.
Or better yet, what
are the mistakes I see entertainers or people in the entertainment industry make generally? The biggest mistake is that I see a lot of them, they wait to lawyer up. A lot of people will say, well, I'm gonna wait until I make it to get a lawyer.
Right.
And most of the time, when you make it, you might have already signed a bad deal. Oh, yeah. So that is one of the key mistakes I see people make. And it's not necessarily a plug for me, it's just generally for your career. Right. You gotta protect your interests from the get-go. Right. And you gotta already view yourself as soon as you come into this industry, you're gonna make it. Right. So you're protecting yourself out the door. You're not gonna wait until whenever you make it. You're protecting yourself, from the beginning. So what does that look like? If you're gonna sign an agreement, don't ask your friend, cousin, auntie, somebody oh, could you read this over for me? You go find a lawyer somewhere. Try to let them work with you. Make sure you're actually protected and covered, especially for people in music, that you're not signing away all your copyright, all your publishing, and you don't know. And then years later, you're wondering, how come I have all these hits and I'm not making any money?
Right.
Okay, so the other mistakes that people make, even although they already lawyer up and they have their team around them, they try to shy away from anything to do with the business. I want to create, and I'm a creator, I'm artistic, I don't have business, I have other people to do that. Right. No, you need to have a basic working understanding of the business side of this business. That's how you go further than just being an artist, right? You want to get to that point where you don't have to get to the Jay-Z level, but you still have to have a working understanding of this industry and what's going on. So when people are screwing you over. Right. And you could actually catch that, right? And another thing too, you can't just pass off your books, your money to your manager, or make sure your business or your personal manager are supposed to be paying your insurance, doing what they want. People leave it to their business manager just generally, and then they found out bills are not being paid. You know, they owe taxes
Right.
because the business manager hasn't been paying anything. And then what's the most recent thing? Alanis Morissette and her business manager, and the dude embezzled $7 million from her over a period of years. How could someone be like taking $7 million of your money and you don't know? And I don't know what the situation was there, but I'm just telling you, it's your business to like check in on your business.
Most beginning artists, especially when you know, in terms of trying to get an attorney, I think the biggest thing would be like finances. So, you know, what ways can they work with their attorney in terms of trying to make it affordable?
Yeah, isn't that the rub? Because I mean, I've heard that story all the time, you know, especially in this game when you have a lawyer, it's like, oh, I made it. And then it's like, yeah, we ain't got no money. Yeah. You can find a lawyer who will probably, you know, try to work with you on your fees. There's always volunteer lawyers for the arts. They don't charge you, but then you kind of have to be on a waiting list. But I always say, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, are you going to be like barking at investing the money in your career now and then get screwed later and lose more money? So it's finances, but every single business, anyone who is in business, got to pay for a service and they got to take out loans. I mean, it's an investment. You shouldn't look at it as being, oh, I don't have the money. It's like, oh, I can't afford not to have that money, and I got to talk to somebody and see how much it costs, and then I got to budget for it, and then I got to find it somehow because it's important, and this is my career.
Okay, so you broker deals as well.
Yes.
Right, to make sure that your client gets like just the best that they can out of the deal, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how does that work? Do they bring it to you? Like, hey, I have this network that's interested in my project, or and I just need you to either look over this contract or to go negotiate with them, or how does that work?
Okay, so it depends on what project you're dealing with, and it depends on who I'm dealing with, right? Because if I'm on the talent end, that looks different than if I'm on the production company end. There are situations where they are doing, just like a writer, director, producer, and they have something that they're produced. They might have shot it, and now they're like, okay, I've shot this, and I want to see what I could do with it. Can I get it to a network? And now it's like, okay. It's always a conversation I'll have with a client to see, okay, what do you have? And let's see what we could do with that. And the same goes for music. I've done the whole record label thing too. That was
really?
Special. Yes, that was special. Trying to package artists. But again, like, as an entertainer, as an artist, an actor or singer, you gotta want this thing bad enough because we could only do so much. So if you're not holding up your end to like really hustle and grind and do what you gotta do, you can't bring it to us and expect we could do anything with that.
Wow. So when advice to artists when they're looking for an attorney to represent them, what are some of the qualities they should look for?
I mean, if you're going to hire an entertainment lawyer to rep you, if you're going to hire a lawyer to rep you in the entertainment industry, check yourself. Make sure they actually know entertainment. I mean, like, seriously, that is like a no-brainer, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't play in areas like I don't do, right? I do IP, but I only do copyright and trademarks. I don't do patents. They wouldn't let me in the patent bar. I mean, I used to do some personal injury. I don't touch that stuff. I don't like criminals, so I don't do it. I mean, I am an entertainment lawyer. That's what I do, right? And law school, I studied entertainment law, studied copyright, studied trademark, studied business. And for the last 10 years, I've just been primarily doing that stuff. I make it my business to know the industry, to read the trades, to know what's going on in the business of entertainment, and keep up on the legal side. I mean, I was just last week at a course on, recent case law, cutting edge legal developments in entertainment law. Like, I stay current in entertainment because that's all I do.
And that's why I asked that question, because I don't think a lot of people understand that there are different types of attorneys.
Exactly.
When people hear, call my lawyer, or you should get a lawyer, all they know is a lawyer. They think it's just one general thing. And it's not. It's like different areas that of practice. It's entertainment, it's injury, it's criminal law, it's,
Because people for a while there, I think for like a month or two, I had people call me consistently about criminal and divorce. Like, they had some criminal matter and they need to get divorced. And I'm like, I don't touch that stuff. Like, I'm an entertainment lawyer. Like, I really don't do that stuff. There's like too much drama. And people are like, but you do entertainment. Those people are drama. I'm like, but that's the fun kind of drama.
Right. I have to unfortunately bring it to a close.
Sure, this has been fun.
What words of encouragement or advice do you have for artists out there?
Okay, so what I've realized over the last 10 years is that in this industry, it's not the most talented that makes it. It's who wants it bad enough. So remember this, if you want it bad enough, you can make it in this industry. It might take you forever and a day, but if you really want it bad enough, oh, come on, girl. How many people in Hollywood now you see like coming into their own? Like, I see like Regina King has some kind of first look deal, and Girlie was in 227 back in the day.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta want it bad enough to stay in it, and especially if you are a minority. People don't bellyache, don't mourn about it. Just do your thing.
Right.
Stay your course. Listen, my whole thing, I always say, if you're not making the money, at least making the incremental. You're getting roles, you're getting parts, you're actually working. You might not be the paycheck you want, but you're building that resume. You're just like, I like to call it, you're climbing that totem pole. You know, at some point, you'll get there. Look at some of these no talented people, and then like at the top. Remember that. When you look at that and say, if they could get there, I could get there. And even if you're discouraged, which we all do in this industry, because, you know, it's a long germination period, you just be like, you know what? I am one role from my breakout. I am one series from like going from obscurity to mainstream. You keep that in front of you and you just keep pushing and you'll get there.
And for artists out there who are watching, who are looking for representation on entertainment legal representation. So, because if you don't do divorce and all that stuff, how can
let me stay in my lane, please. So, how do you find me? You can check my website. It's www.mason, MASON, FIRMLLC.com. And that has all my contact information.
Me. Hi, I'm Bethany, and I'm basic. Come on, Bethany. You got this. No, we're not scared. My name's Bethany, and I ain't scared. You ready for some ill shit? You ready? You ready? Too aggressive? That's too aggressive. Hi, I'm Bethany, and I'm like totally cool. But too bougie. Okay. And just don't straight out say it. Let's be honest. I just need this job. You don't want this? Don't show them you want it, but like show them you want it. Here we go. Why, yes, I do impressions. I have a dream that one day, I don't know the rest of it. Wait till they get a load of me. All my life I had to fight. Stella! I'm desperate. You are worth it. Stella, girl. Stella! They gonna love you. Power to the people. Let's do this. Oh snap, I'm late.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Meeting of the Minds segment. Today, my guests are Chantal, Maurice, and I have Shabazz Ray. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today's topic of discussion is typecasting. The one thing about this business I do know is that a lot of it is based more so off of a look. So a lot of times the first thing a casting director or the director looks for is, you know, your look. Does this person look like they would play this character, or look like they could pull off what I'm looking for this character? And a lot of times that's how a lot of actors fall into typecasting. But do you guys feel like you've been typecasted, or do you feel like, you know, in the work that you've done, you have more of a variety of different types of roles?
Ladies first.
Well, I do think when you said there are certain things that can help typecast you, I definitely think like physical scars, accents, and especially for Black women, our hair.
Right.
So, right now I have these faux locks in, but my hair is normally in an afro. It's a short, like, copper colored afro. And with that afro, I've been, called in for cops, called in for, just a random person in New York City that's like playing an instrument, getting drugs or stuff like that. But I would never get any type of like sexy parts, any really fun parts. And my representation told me that because my hair was like so short and it was like an afro, it gave me more of a serious tone to me. Whereas now with the faux locks, it's like they'll call me in for the girl that wears a short skirt. They'll call me in for it's like more of a range. It's still limited, but it's a little bit more than with the afro. So I do think that especially as a Black woman, our hair, like that's one thing, because it's like, oh, if you have a short pixie like relaxed look, okay, you can work in a beauty salon, you can maybe work with kids, be a teacher. If you have, if your natural hair is a little bit bigger, maybe you're a protester, or maybe you're a Black feminist or something like that. I do think that our hair definitely plays a part in how, especially casting directors, when they see us and they see our hair, like the different boxes that they put us in.
Right. Because I know for a while I used to have like a bunch of different colors in my hair, and for an everyday look, it was cute. But as far as for acting, it did put me in a box. And I was getting called in for a lot more urban type of roles, if you will. Like the girl who works in a beauty salon, or like the girl who wears the short shorts, that type of thing. I know in terms of, like, I've seen you have a lot of different looks, which is a great thing. But it's a good thing, though, because it gives options in terms of, especially with the different auditions and different roles that are opening it up and are coming available. Sometimes not all casting directors have an imagination.
And sometimes they don't have time. They don't have time to have an imagination.
Right,
they're like, okay,
and you have all these headshots. So I mean, to have a look that is more specific or more tailored kind of helps a lot. Do you feel like that has helped you a lot?
Yeah, so initially this style was just supposed to be temporary for a month. Like for my birthday, I just wanted to try it out, and it was around like the holiday season. So first I went to my agent's holiday party, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love your hair, get new headshots, it's perfect." And I was like, "Wait, no, like this is coming out in okay."
Right.
And then the next week I went to my manager's holiday party, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's a great look, I love it, get new headshots." And I'm like, "Well, all right," because I just taken new headshots. So I was just like, I don't think they understand that this is temporary, but okay, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And my manager told me, he was like, with your shortcut, it does give you a mature look. So, you're not really getting called in for roles for your age that you're kind of missing out on, because when they see you with this hair, they think mature, very mature, put together. And he's like, and there are tons of other roles that you can be doing for like early, mid-20s that you're not getting called in for. So I took the headshots, and it's been maybe like 2 months, so it hasn't really been a long time, but it's been like 2 to 3 months that I've had the headshots, and my manager and agent have been submitting me with this look, and I have been getting called in more. So it's just kind of like, it's a great look, and I love it, but there's something about, and I think braids are in now. Like people love braids.
Natural look.
More of a natural look. Like braids are in, and it's a thing. So I feel like you kind of just have to go with the wave, like what's in at the moment, and just hop on the wave and see if you can get in a couple of doors or something. That. Listen, that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, for me, I'd say when I started out, I would feel like I was typecast because I did a lot of the same stuff. Now I get to do a lot of different things, but they all have one thing in common, like authoritative figures. I've played everything from a cop to a gangster to a FBI agent, campaign manager.
Oh, wow.
So actually now I'm getting a lot of different roles, but they're all authoritative figures.
I feel like a lot of the roles I do get is, of course, like the doctor or the lawyer, or, a judge or something like that, which is cool. And, I'm happy to accept it because, I'm trying to work. But at the same time, at the same time, you do want something that is just a little bit more challenging. So breaking out of that, the typecasting, For a lot of actors, that's a challenge. And so how do you guys feel like, it's a way to break out of that?
Personally, for me, and this is just from going to a lot of panels, listening to a lot of established actors speak, I feel like there's going to be that period where, like when we think about Megan Good, Gabrielle Union, there was a time in all of the actors who, we look up to now, there was a time in their career where they played the same type of roles, movie after movie after movie after movie, and we were like, okay, like Megan Good, she's about to steal somebody's boyfriend, whatever the case may be. I feel like there's always, there's kind of going to be that. I think for me, or especially like an actor on my level, what I do to break out of that is create my own work. Right. My goal is to do a biopic. Like I love period pieces and I love being able to relive someone's story. So that's what I did. I wrote and produced my own short biopic film where I'm a jazz singer in the 1930s, where it's like, am I going to get called in for, a huge blockbuster biopic for the main character? Probably not right now for the lead, but I can create my own. And this way now I have a clip of me in a role like this that I can actually show people. Right. So I think that it comes, like personally, with just creating your own work and working together with friends and other actors that doing whether it's web series or short films, and just kind of, if it, like you said, you want to be challenged, you have to write it for yourself, challenge yourself, and then this way you have something that you can show people, like, this is what I can do. Like, I don't mind coming in for these 3 lines on this network TV show. That's cool. It's gonna give me a check, but look at this. Like, watch me really delve into this character and work and like bring something to life. So that's what I think.
What do you think?
Okay, well, I think it's a combination of things. Actually, I was talking to you about that earlier, exactly what you said about doing your own projects. I think it's so important for, actors to just come out of that box where they're just acting and, learn how to write, learn how to produce, learn about the business so you can create your own projects from a different point of view.
That's very important.
Also, it's about taking chances. One thing I forgot is that I took a lot of chances. Like I crashed auditions that I wasn't even invited to, and they let me in, and I booked jobs.
Wow.
One of those jobs was I got a part on a Zoolander as a bouncer.
Oh, nice.
And I waited for 3 hours just to read. And I finally got in and I read and I booked a part.
Wow.
And I wasn't even supposed to be there. Right. And like she said, I also write and direct and do my own projects. Right now I have a feature film called The Long Short, which The Long Short will be coming out later this year. But also look at what's going on with independent films. Independent films, I think, is a great place to be able to do multiple characters, multiple roles, because it's not so, how could I say, so tight, not so boxed in where you're just limited to doing this. And people are open to letting you try different things when you're doing an independent film, So I think independent films are a great place to do work. And some people start there. Matter of fact, even Ben Stiller was talking about that, a long time ago. Where he started out doing like independent projects just to get himself acclimated and to do stuff, because when you do big projects, it's a lot more pressure.
Because there's a lot more money going into it.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly. So it's a combination of things that'll help you break out. Do your own projects, take chances, take risks, and look at doing independent films as well as network television and major motion pictures.
Church, we have gathered here today to deal with a serious issue. It is an issue of great preponderance. You like that? Preponderance. It is a matter of importance more serious than my overgrown mustache. How do we deal with the white man? I have told you that the white man is our brother and he should be treated as such. We touch our brother with the softest of hands. We greet our brother with the widest of smiles. We give our brother food when he is hungry. But it is hard to do this when our brother beats his fist upon our flesh. when he greets us with nigger and go back to Africa. When he punches us in our bellies, swelling with hunger. Abel was slain by his brother Cain. And just like the biblical times, today, the white man is killing his Negro brethren, shackling his hands, keeping us from rising to the stars we are bound to occupy. We have walked, our feet swelling with each step. We have been drowned by hoses, our dreams being washed away. We have been bitten by dogs, our skin forever scarred by hatred at its height. Our godly crowns have been turned into ashtrays for white men at lunch counters all across the South. To this, I say, my brethren, a new day is coming. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And today is the day that I tell you to kill the white man. But not with your hands. Not with your guns. But with your mind. We are fighting to sit at the same counters. But why, my brothers and sisters? We should build our own counters, our own restaurants, our own neighborhoods, our own schools. The white man ain't got nothing I want. Fuck the white man. Fuck the white man. I say fuck him.
On the next #Actors Life, actor Tobias Trevelyan stops by to talk Empire and what next he's got in store. And actors Tamike Ogugawa and Lester Green talk image and perspective in the business.